Have you ever wondered how to tell a convincing lie?
Well, guess what? Today, we're going to teach you.
Welcome everyone, and on this episode, we're searching for the best ways to tell a lie, what the most convincing lies are, and how we can tell them.
Wait, why is a church YouTube video teaching us how to lie?
Well, it's a great question, but you're gonna have to stick around to see the answer to that.
In order to find answers to this, one of life's most challenging and awe-inspiring questions, we're going to need some help.
So, we went to an expert.
All right, so some of this stuff was not surprising at all, so let's dive right into teaching you how to tell a convincing lie.
First things first, you have to make sure that you come across as a reliable source.
No one is going to believe things told to them by someone that they don't believe/think is unreliable. You should eat the cookie.
When you trust someone, it's much easier to believe anything that they say is true.
Second thing, be particular about the lie.
It has to be somewhat believable. So take something that is true, or is mostly true, and then just slightly twist it.
It doesn't say, don't eat the cookie. You could use the plastic bag to not touch it. That's a good point.
Step 3, use an example to prove your point. Even an obscure example will make the most ridiculous lie more believable.
For all we know, that could be your cookie. You've made cookies before. I have made cookies before. Finally, make sure you repeat the lie often because that's how something really sticks in your mind. Eat the cookie. Eat the cookie. Do it and you're cool. Do it and you're cool. I should eat the cookie. Eat the cookie already.
Now you might be wondering if these tips really work. Well, when you're telling them to others, maybe.
But when they really work is when we are believing lies ourselves.
And there are tons of lies that we tend to believe about ourselves. Lies like, I'm not smart enough,
Not pretty enough.
not valuable enough,
Not funny enough.
not a good friend,
Not a good kid.
I'm not gonna be successful, everyone's out to get me,
I only make things worse.
no one likes me, no one knows the real me.
No one likes me. No one even notices me.
We all have lies that we tell ourselves or that we hear from people that we trust. The person that has the easiest time convincing you of something is yourself. And that thing that you believe is probably a slightly twisted version of the truth.
It's simple, like adding not to the front of something. Like you're not valuable or not enough.
It's probably even backed by one little example.
You failed to do a thing or two and now you have convinced yourself that you're a failure.
And then you repeat that lie over and over and over again until you are so absolutely sure that it just must be true. So what's the big deal about believing a lie?
Well, our thoughts direct our actions.
For example, I want you to think of a big yawn. That's right, biggest yawn ever.
Did you yawn? Oh yeah. I got my shell. So if you consistently believe lies, your thoughts, and your actions are being directed by things that are not true.
If you only focus on believing the lie that you're a failure, that negative self-talk makes you stressed about your performance.
And nothing you could do could ever measure up because you've already convinced yourself that nothing you could do could ever measure up.
Do you see the trap? Every lie we believe about ourselves has its own downward spiral that you can fall into. So what's the solution? A guy named Paul wrote down something 2,000 years ago that is still super helpful to us even now.
He tells us to take every thought captive, meaning we can actually control what we think about.
The trick with lies is to figure out what they are and then replace them with the truth.
So go through the 4 steps of a lie and change them out.
Step 1, go to someone more reliable than the source of the lie. Now, if you follow Jesus, He's your most reliable source.
And honestly, if you don't follow Jesus, this is one of the things that should make you really considering follow Jesus.
Figure out what it is that Jesus says about you or about your situation, not what everyone else says.
Step 2 is untwist the statement.
The best lies have some kernel of truth in them. Figure out what that truth is by talking it through with trusted people, comparing it to what Jesus says, and then hold on to that truth.
Step 3 is widen your focus. Don't let small examples prove a lie to you. A failed test doesn't mean you're not smart.
A bad outfit or that zit that keeps coming back doesn't mean that you're not attractive or you're not pretty.
The one friend who talked behind your back doesn't mean that everyone is untrustworthy. If you eat a sour grape, it doesn't mean that all grapes are sour and that you should switch to raisins.
Finally, and this one's key, repeat the truth to yourself every day.
Focus on the truth until, and this is super important because it might not happen right away, until you are convinced of the truth.
Let your life be directed by things that are true.
Change your mind, change your life.